It's 2023, and I think as a Sonic fan, it's safe to say we have had a spectacular 2022. It really felt like the revival of good, quality, consistent Sonic content, spanning across various media from the blockbuster film Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which as of writing is a top 10 grossing film of 2022. We had a fun if flawed compilation in Sonic Origins that brought the incredible Sonic 3 and Knuckles back to modern consoles. We had Sonic Frontiers, which is a awesome 3D Sonic game that harked back to those adventure stories. And we've had a really great Sonic TV show in Netflix's Sonic Prime. So what follows it up? What are we getting in 2023? We know for sure that we're getting a few things like Sonic Frontiers DLC and the Knuckles TV spin-off, but there are a lot of other potential things that we could have, and so rather than just give you a straight list of what I reckon is going to happen in 2023, I'm going to change it up a little bit, and I'm going to predict month by month what is going to happen for Sonic the Hedgehog in 2023. There's going to be some easy guesses and some things based off of what we already know, but then there's going to be some speculation, there's going to be some flat out predictions, and there's going to be some wild cards in there as well. And not only am I going to guess what we're going to get, I'm also going to guess the reactions of the fan base and certain creators that I really enjoy as well. So why not? Could be a little bit of fun. And I'll be upfront here as well, I don't follow the IDW comics very closely, so I feel I can't give a particularly accurate prediction when it comes to that. I'm just going to say flat out there's going to be new story arcs, and I believe this is the 5th anniversary as well, so hopefully something cool comes from that. But anyway, we're going to start in January 2023. It's a bit of a flat start to the year. I don't really anticipate anything happening in January 2023, apart from near the end, we're going to get the announcement of a new cosmetic for Sonic in Sonic Frontiers. It's going to be Valentine's Day based, and it's going to come out in February, and I also think that we're going to get an announcement that Sonic is going to appear at South by Southwest in Texas, but more on that in a second. In February we get the release of this Valentine's Sonic DLC, and for the most part it's going to be quiet until the last week. We get a teaser trailer for Sonic Frontiers DLC Wave 1, which will release in March. We get to see how the sound test function works as an in-game option, some images of photo mode being used, and I think we get the official confirmation of a boss rush mode for Sonic Frontiers. They'll let us know through social media that more information is going to be coming in March at the panel at South by Southwest. Now, I've mentioned South by Southwest a couple of times, so what is it? It's a convention that happens in Austin, Texas, and this year it's happening between the 10th of March and the 19th of March. Historically, Sonic has had a panel here in 2017, 2018, 2019. There was planned to be one in 2020, but obviously there was a little pandemic and everything shut down and they had to cancel South by Southwest. Previous years held some really interesting revelations as well. The non-televised 2017 panel spoke of Sonic Mania and Project Sonic 2017, which became the Sonic Forces that we know and acknowledge. We had the reveals of Sonic Mania Plus, Team Sonic Racing, various animations, and it was at the 2019 panel we got the first official confirmation that the game that would become Sonic Frontiers was in full production. So it's safe to say that South by Southwest is a big deal for Sonic. So what are we going to see? Sonic Frontiers DLC Waves 1 and 2 will get detailed, more on how Boss Rush works, the different challenges and such. I honestly think we'll see an Egg Shuttle style cyberspace mode where you play all of the levels in a row. I also reckon we'll be able to replay single boss fights from the main menu too, and not just in a Boss Rush style mode. We'll get details on the Wave 2 DLC as well, with new challenges in the open zone that are more akin to the Sonic Unleashed hard mode levels, you know, the DLC levels that were really tricky. They'll also tease the Sonic birthday event in the game, which I don't really know what that could be. Like, it could be its own separate cyberspace area, or it could be like a little open zone of its own with extra challenges and lots of Sonic decorations or something like that. I'm not even sure what that could be, but we'll get whatever the teaser is right there. I also feel something to do with this open space on the skill tree will get announced. I think there are 2 more abilities that will get unlocked, and I hope that one of them is Supersonic in the open zone. We'll also get a taste of how Wave 3 DLC functions, how the new playable characters act, maybe 1 or 2 skills that they have, and a little bit of a tease for how the story functions for it. It's going to be very light on details, of course, but it's going to have a more coming in 2023 sort of tag at the end. As for the other waves, they'll announce that Wave 2 drops the week before Sonic's birthday in June, and Wave 1 drops just after the panel, so it's basically a shadow drop. It's going to be very tasty. I believe a fair amount of the panel is going to focus on Sonic Frontiers, but it's not going to be all of it. They'll announce more stories for IDW Comics, we'll get some teaser images for the Knuckles TV show, we'll get a confirmation of Sonic Prime Part 2, which I think is going to be in May. We'll get announcements of tour dates for the Sonic Symphony Tour, and I think they're going to tease a new game. well, not a new game exactly. I think it's time for Sonic Unleashed Ultimate. I think this is how they close it out. A modern Unleashed port announced for PS4 and 5, Xbox One and Series, Switch and PC. They'll tease frame rate and stability upgrades, quality of life features, and all previously included DLC. And for what it's worth, it will be the 360 and PS3 version getting ported and not the Wii version. More details will come out during the year. That will close out South by Southwest, and I think there's going to be some very positive reactions from the fanbase, but also a very vocal outcry for a 2D Sonic game, which wasn't announced here, and as well people will be asking for adventure ports instead of an Unleashed remaster. I think that's kind of normal, people ask for that quite a lot, but I think that will definitely happen if they don't announce them at South by Southwest. But anyway, maybe a few days after, Wave 1 of the Sonic Frontiers DLC gets released, and it is fun. The Egg Shuttle style mode and Boss Rush mode get jumped on by speedrunners, Argit gets a world record for the Egg Shuttle mode, and the rest of the world is just happy being able to smash Giganto in the face repeatedly. It all feels very good, and there's a lot of anticipation for Wave 2. April is just straight up quiet, there's not really anything. There's a decent April Fool's joke at the start, but yeah, pretty quiet. May is a quieter one, but not without a big release. Sonic Prime Part 2 comes out in the second Friday of the month and is received really well. We see more interesting worlds, Shadow and Sonic punch on a bit more, and we see some more of Nine and Rusty Rose's capabilities. I predict they're going to reference a few more events from Sonic games in this one, but I don't think that they are going to actually directly visit any of the worlds that were affected by any of the events in the video games. They leave it on a nasty cliffhanger, which makes me want a release date for Part 3 immediately. June is going to be a big month for Sonic. Around the start of June, rumours will start spreading about a new 2D Sonic game again. It's probably going to be Zippo, let's be real, but it gets picked up, circulated by news sites and such. The rumours are akin to the Mania dev team gets their own 2D Sonic game with fully original world, or something like that. It's going to sound like that, and everyone is going to get really hyped. E3 will roll around at the speed of sound, and we will see some further coverage of Sonic Unleashed Ultimate, updated textures, some new missions based on the Metal Sonic races in Colors Ultimate, and some more quality of life updates. No confirmation of a release date just yet though. The Sonic Symphony Tour also plays at E3 and it is live streamed. At one point you hear Fidel screaming with excitement near the end. Oh my god! Tuesday the 20th of June will see the second wave of DLC for Sonic Frontiers release. We get those new open zone challenges, Sonic's birthday event turns out to be some really fun cutesy birthday cake shenanigans, and the new Coco give new minigames to play throughout the zones, making you travel across the Starfall Islands to complete them all. It's essentially a set of new side quests available on the maps. However, of course, the main event for June is the Sonic Central livestream. Now last year's was a little disappointing in my opinion, but this one, not so much. It's going to be a banger. We get new merch drops including Squishmallows of Silver, Amy and Metal Sonic. We get confirmation of the release date of Sonic Prime Part 3 next year, as well as confirmation of its success and a Season 2 coming at some point in the future, confirming more long-term Sonic content. The Sonic Symphony World Tour gets confirmed dates, and Australia and New Zealand are left completely out of it, and I get a little bit annoyed about it. We get the first full trailer of the Knuckles TV show, and we get a confirmed exact release date in September, but we also of course get game information. A full gameplay trailer for Wave 3 of Sonic Frontiers DLC releasing in October. A release date for Sonic Unleashed Ultimate comes, as well as new footage of those new missions being added in the game. The release date of course is a Tuesday in November, and not only that, the show will end with a Tyson Hesse produced animation confirming that new 2D Sonic game. The title isn't Sonic Mania 2, it's something else like Sonic Stars, Sonic Celebration, Sonic Burst or something, I don't know, but the one thing I do know is we all lose our collective minds. Everyone bugs T-Lopes to see if he's going to be involved with the music of the game, and all he does is leave winky faces and question marks all over, and we just get suspicious, and it's just a really hyped time. Everyone is really excited at the end of this Sonic celebration. After June, everyone is really tired and nothing really happens. There's lots of people playing Wave 2 of the DLC of Sonic Frontiers and just a lot of videos coming out about speculation for the 2D Sonic game. I'm sure some crazy glitch from the Wave 2 of the DLC comes up which absolutely changes the game for Sonic Frontiers speedrunning. Gamescom has a playable demo of Sonic Unleashed Ultimate, and although there's a lot of decent reactions, a lot of people wonder whether it's going to handle properly on the Switch because, you know, that's kind of how the Switch works. We wonder whether things can actually perform on it. It runs smoothly and fantastic on PS5, so no one particularly cares that much though. The Knuckles spin-off releases in September on Paramount Plus, and subscriptions go through the roof, just like how you should subscribe to this channel. Idris Elba does a Q&A and talks about his favourite Sonic moments. People hope for a glimpse or tease of Rouge in live action and are sorely disappointed when it doesn't happen. The story's pretty good, it fills in a decent amount of information about Knuckles and just ties in really well with its character. I think they put in a lot of work to make sure that Knuckles felt like Knuckles in the live action one, do you know what I mean? Like, they didn't just make stuff up about him or whatever. It feels proper, like Sonic lore. October heralds the release of Sonic Frontiers DLC Wave 3, and it is such a refreshing take on the Frontiers formula. The way Tails, Knuckles and Amy interact with the world with their own unique movesets and attacks is really cool. Knuckles gets a much bigger combat moveset than we were expecting, and Amy can use her hammer to glitch through some really fun sequences. The story fills in what happens after they restored Sonic on Rare Island, and there are new cyberspace stages along with the DLC, each taking on a new environment for each character. Tails gets Metropolis Zone from Sonic 2, Knuckles gets Lava Reef from Sonic and Knuckles, and Amy gets Palm Tree Panic from Sonic CD. Sonic himself also gets Prime Shoes and Gloves as cosmetic DLC. Now, something else that we weren't expecting though is they added in a super secret ending to the game, and what this is once you've completed all of the side story, all of the, the extra Wave 3 DLC, when you go to replay the end, you get an extra supersonic boss at the end of it. You need 100% completion of all of the DLC side stories to get it, but it makes for a much more satisfying end than the one that we actually have in the game right now. Sonic Unleashed Ultimate releases to great fanfare from the fanbase, but we also go to war with IGN because they review it badly. People who loved Unleashed in the past realised that they were looking through rose-coloured glasses, and some who hated it find a new love for the game. And people discover the absolute pain that is the hot dog missions for Eggman Land. There are proper criticisms to make though. The frame rate suffers when Sonic's inserting speedier parts on the Switch, and the studio who are in charge of the port have altered the lighting so Sonic's model just looks really weird. However, for the most part, this is a good remaster. No audio issues to be heard, which is lovely. The new race missions are really fun as well, and people realise how tough the newer games are. The mod scene put Shadow in the game within about a week, and then they restore the lighting about a week later as well. Just as a side note, I know this sounds like me hoping and coping quite a lot here, and there is a fair bit of speculation that I'm basing, this off of nothing, but I would just love to be able to play Sonic Unleashed again on a modern console. Like, I don't have access to it here in Australia, I've only got access to it back in the UK, and obviously I can't visit there all the time, so it would be lovely to be able to play it on my PC, play it on my Switch or my PS4 or something like that, and that is why I'm really hoping that this one happens. It is a bit of a speculation one. Anyway, on to December. The Game Awards comes around, and Sonic Unleashed Ultimate gets weirdly nominated for Best Family Game but loses out to Pikmin 4. We also remember the harsh losses of this year. Nothing huge releases, but there is cute Christmas art, new glitches found in Sonic Unleashed Ultimate that make it very funny, Argic nails a world record for Wave 3 of the Frontiers DLC, and I make a video looking back at this video and seeing how much I actually got right. That's what I think is going to happen in 2023 for Sonic. We know Sonic Team have said that we're going to be getting Frontiers DLC. We know that we are getting that Knuckles TV show. We also know that the Sonic Symphony Tour is happening at some point in the future, and we know that there is also another 2 sets of episodes for Sonic Prime, so it's not unrealistic to see this happen within 2023. Sonic Team have said to expect another wave of big Sonic content in 2023 as well, so I definitely don't think too much of this is off base. As far as a 2D game announcement goes, I feel like it's inevitable at some point. 2023 makes sense to announce it, but I don't think that they will release it. I think that they will wait another year, and that we're going to get a remaster or port instead. More likely a remaster in my mind, and Sonic Unleashed is really the one that I feel needs to come to modern consoles and would be a lot simpler to put on modern consoles. But yeah, it could equally be something like Sonic Riders or Sonic Heroes, but I do feel like Sonic Unleashed makes a lot more sense because it's a more modern style of gameplay. For all intents and purposes, as I said, it could be a port, could be an adventure port, who knows. I don't think that's going to happen this year, but if it does, that'd be amazing. But either way, I just think we're going to get either a remaster or a port, more likely a remaster, and my bets are on a Sonic Unleashed Ultimate. It could go either way, but to be honest, I'm just really excited to have another big year of Sonic content to look forward to, especially after how good 2022 was. What do you think about this though? Do you think these predictions are right? Do you think they're off base? Do you reckon I'm just like completely wrong? Let me know in the comments, of course, and let me know what you predict for Sonic in 2023. Make sure you smack that subscribe button, hit the notifications, and then check this video out because you want to get hyped up for Frontiers, and this has got some stuff that you missed in your initial gameplay.